I am so proud of you. 10 days ago, you made a commitment. You made a commitment to yourself for your emotional well-being. And in so doing, you made a commitment to every other area of your life because you know this affects everything. You made a commitment to every important person in your life because you know how much your emotional well-being affects all of your relationships. And you followed through. If I had a bottle of virtual champagne, I would be popping it right now. I would even be drinking it. I really, really want to congratulate you for sticking this out, for carving out 20 minutes of your day every day to work on this. Because what you have now done is laid the foundation for your emotional well-being. You've laid the foundation to transform your life. And in this last video, I want to share with you what it takes to create change that lasts. And then we're going to talk about how you and I can work more closely together. So I think all of us have had an insight or inspiration at some point in our lives, had an aha moment and thought, boom, this is it, right? I've got it. I know what the secret is. And now I am transformed. But it's called an instant change because it usually lasts for an instant. We're not interested in instant change. We are interested in change that lasts. And so you may have had a number of aha moments over the past few days. Aha moments about what you may be unintentionally doing that is increasing your emotional distress, what you need to do to unlearn that anxiety, right? To reprogram your brain, to rewire that neurochemistry. Yeah? But while you have begun the process of rewiring, it's like exercise. You don't go to the gym once, twice, or even for a week and expect to have a new body. You know that you've got to go consistently. You've got to go every day for an extended period of time before you're going to get a new body. Well, it's the same with our brain. It's exactly the same with our brain. The brain is very much like a muscle. It learns, it grows. We literally create new neurons, connections between neurons, and even switch on and off the genes that determine that neurological functioning depending on what it is that we do. But it takes time for that neuronal shift to take place. Now, how do we make that happen? Well, it comes to what I call the holy grail of all transformation. And the holy grail of transformation is habit. Nothing is as powerful as a habit. Why? Because a habit puts you on autopilot. Yeah, it puts you on autopilot. Now, we all know about habits like overspending or saving or exercise or sitting in front of the TV or eating healthy food or eating a bag of chips every night, right? Habits can be good or bad, right? Habit is a power. It is neutral, can be used for good or for evil. But it is not just behavior that becomes habitual. Our minds also create habits, right? Positive thinking, deep breathing, transcendence. Those are habits that we need to develop, right? Negative thinking, whinging, whining. Those are habits too, right? Ingratitude is a habit, just as gratitude is a habit. And what you've done is, yes, laid the foundation, but now we need to turn that into a habit. Now, depending on the specific behavior, science has shown that it takes around about 30 days for an act to become a habit, right? To do it on autopilot, to do it where you don't even know that you're doing it, right? You're just doing it. Now, the reason why most people fail on their New Year's resolutions is because they don't give it enough time to become a habit. Right? So they say, yes, I want to start exercising or I want to start whatever it is, but they don't realize for those first 30 days, they're going to have to do it consciously. They're going to have to do it deliberately. Yeah? And so that's why the majority, 90%, will not achieve what they need to. If you think about it, success isn't actually rocket science. You want to lose weight, move more, eat less, create wealth, cut down your spending, get out of debt, save and invest. Yeah, you want to stay married, start trying to be right all the time. You can't be right and be married at the same time, right? Most of us know what to do. We just don't do what we know. Now, I know that's a little different when it comes to anxiety and emotional distress. I thought I knew what I needed to do. In fact, I was ingraining bad habits. I was doing things that I thought were helping me, but were actually backfiring and were actually very destructive. Now, what we need to do is know what it is that we need to do and then ingrain that as a habit. Now, once it's a habit, boom, man, that is when it just happens. You know, people will often say to me, Justin, you're so disciplined, right? Because I exercise every day. I say, not true. That's not discipline. Discipline is not exercising. When I injure myself, it is a discipline not to exercise, right? Because I exercise on autopilot. I just do it, yeah? And if you're not there yet with exercise, believe me, you can get there. The only reason you're not there yet is because you didn't do it deliberately and consciously for at least 30 days. And with exercise, it can be a little bit longer than that. And so you've never got into autopilot. Just think about brushing your teeth. Are you disciplined because you brushed your teeth? No, right? Initially, you had to be. In fact, your mother had to push you to do it. But now, you're a toothbrushing addict, right? I mean, you would actually have withdrawal symptoms if you didn't brush your teeth, right? You'd actually become anxious, right? Because you're on autopilot. Now, we want to make sure that all of these positive mental habits, and as we're going to discover, physical habits, actually go onto autopilot, become a habit. That is the holy grail of transformation. That is the only way that we create change that lasts, yeah, longer than the instant of an aha moment. So I want to share with you today how we can do this together, because you've now carved out these 20 minutes each day, and so you are somebody I want to work with, because you are proactive, you are dedicated, and you are making it happen. And now we just need to take it to the next level, right? We need to work on your specific issue, make sure that we can really get that resolved, right? Overcome that challenge, share with you some really powerful processes, these transcender processes, so that you can start ingraining them and taking this to the next level and truly creating change that lasts. So what I want to talk to you about now is the Transcender program and how we can work together. So I'm just going to put that over there so that you can see that nice and clear. So the Transcender program is designed to do a number of things. One, enable you to experience a real emotional breakthrough. So if you do have a specific anxiety disorder, general anxiety disorder, PTSD, OCD, yes, we need to work on that specifically together. If you are somebody who's just, say, sapped, successful, and emotionally distressed, you just have high levels of anxiety, we need to get you that emotional breakthrough. Now, many of you may have already had the breakthrough in the past few days, but you need to sustain it. Because as you know, you can take a step back, take a step forward, and we want to make sure that you can actually experience this breakthrough in a very systematic way and sustain it. Now, this is not just about an emotional breakthrough, it's about a life breakthrough as well, right? If you're looking for a breakthrough in your relationship, in your finances, your business, your relationship, you know that your emotion affects every area of your life, but the processes that I'm going to be sharing with you are actually designed for you to experience a breakthrough both emotionally and in your life. You know that there are particular things you need to do to achieve success. Remember, success is not actually any kind of a mystery, right? We know what it is that we need to do, right? But what we lack is those processes. Sometimes it's the motivation. Sometimes it's the clarity, right? Sometimes it's just those particular focus and direction that enables us to experience that breakthrough. Now we're going to look at overcoming a specific fear, right? So for some people it's giving presentations. For others it might be, for you it might be going on job interviews or starting that business that you just know you need to, because that's your life mission, it's your purpose. Or maybe it's asking guys or girls out. Whatever it is, you know that the biggest thing stopping you from getting what you want is probably a specific fear. And it might just be a fear of failure. It might be a fear of not being good enough. Yeah, it might be a fear that really sits pretty deep in. Well, we are going to overcome that. I have a very specific 5-step process for you there. We're going to look at rewiring the brain for peace, calm, and joy. And of course, creating change that lasts. That's what this is not just another e-learning program. This is actually a 30-day challenge to get you to the point where you have taken on these new habits and you're on autopilot. So the Transcender Online Academy has 5 components. The first is how the brain works. We're going to look at how we reprogram the brain. Remember, the brain has its own operating system. Know thyself. Yeah, that's the wisdom from the Oracle of Delphi in ancient Greece. Well, the best way to know thyself is to know thy brain, how your brain works. Right? We know from neuroplasticity the brain is malleable. It changes. We can change our brains. It's one of the most beautiful, groundbreaking insights that we have had over the past decade, but we're going to look at how we change our brain, how we actually affect that neurological transformation that is so important to our well-being. We're going to look at the art of life. You've heard about the three main strategies that we have, right? What I call the art of life: action, reinterpretation, and transcendence. We know that if we're going to have the external life that we want, whatever it is, those material things, the business, the person in our life, there's action that needs to be taken, right? A lot of therapy is all about our thoughts, and that's important, but we've also got to learn to be able to take action. And yes, even when it comes to overcoming fear and anxiety, as we've discovered, it's about what we do. But of course, if you just jump into, say, giving a presentation or going to a job interview or doing something that you previously were traumatized about, you can get re-traumatized. So we need to do this in a systematic fashion. So whatever your specific fear is, you're going to take action in a gradual, gentle, manageable way. And so by the end of this, you are going to have really got over whatever that particular fear is that's holding you back. Reinterpretation, yes, that's about changing our thoughts. We know how important that is, right? And there's nothing that can disturb you as much as your own thoughts. And we're going to work on how we can change the content of our thoughts. But of course, it's not just thoughts, right? There's beliefs. Beliefs are iceberg thoughts. They're below often the surface of awareness. And those beliefs can be really crippling. If you deep down have a belief that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve more, that deep down you are a loser or a failure, well, that can really hold you back. So we've got to uproot those beliefs and plant in some new resourceful beliefs of self-worth and self-value. And then, of course, transcendence, right? And that's really where the healing is, real emotional healing, where we can actually change our relationship to our thoughts and to those uncomfortable sensations that accompany emotional distress. We are then, before I share with you the third one, this is just from Bernice. What an amazing masterclass. I had a big presentation at work, was really anxious. This put me in a state of empowerment with a different attitude and mindset. Feel totally blessed. So yes, this is absolutely, if you've got a very specific anxiety, as Bernice did, around giving presentations. And then we've got the 5 Master Question Coach. Boy, do I love this. This is the jewel in the crown of the Transcender method. The 5 Master Question Coach systematically takes you through each of the 3 strategies: action, reinterpretation, and transcendence, to deal with your particular challenge. So this is a really powerful coaching modality to enable you to break through any challenge. I've never had a situation with anybody asking themselves these 5 questions regarding their particular challenge who has not had a breakthrough. That has never, ever happened. And we measure the breakthrough. So you will actually measure your emotional state before and afterwards. So you can actually see your transformation. By the way, you do this for the whole program. You're going to measure your overall emotional well-being before and after. I want you to have your own before and after pictures, right? Maybe that's not going to be a physical transformation, although for some people it really is. But you're going to have that mental transformation that you can actually measure. Now, the 5 Master Question Coach is phenomenal. If you are a coach or a consultant, you work with people, you're a leader, you're an executive, or just a parent who actually wants to help your kids, or your partner, right? This is a really powerful process for you to understand, to you to apply to yourself, and then learn how to actually help and apply it to others. Deborah says, being able to face my fears and concerns using your questions made a huge difference with the personal matter. By applying them, I was able to overcome and take control. Thank you. Your work and methods have been life-changing. And that's on that 5 Master Question Coach. It really is that powerful. And then the 4th component is the 3-step Heal Your Mind process. When I was at the height of my own emotional distress, man, I just wanted to know what to do. What I do in the moment, right? Not tomorrow, not yesterday, not tonight, like right now as I'm experiencing this, right? If you deal with panic or anxiety or high rates of emotional distress, what do you do in the moment? I'm going to give you the 3-step process so that right in that moment, you can get that relief, that you can actually get that shift right there. And in a way that doesn't make it worse later. Because some things that you do, believe it or not, actually do make you feel better at first, but actually perpetuate your anxiety. And we're going to figure out what those things are so we don't do those things, right? We want to make sure that we get the relief in the moment, but we're also doing something that is healing us long term. Savara says, the way my emotions used to affect me before was so unhealthy, but I feel like the last live call completely changed the way I think about things, and it really helped me to deal with negative emotions. Chantel says, never before have I been able to feel the intensity of my fear before stepping back as an outsider to see it for what it is. I felt so calm and relaxed and grounded afterwards. I wish I had you as a resource in the past. Maybe I could have saved myself a lot of heartache. I know how Chantel feels because it took me years to figure this out. Years of unnecessary suffering, years of emotional distress, of anxiety, of just not knowing what to do, thinking I was doing the right thing, but actually not doing the right thing. And that's it. When I figured out what it was, I had always made this commitment that I would share this. That was my give back. To share this with the world. That's why I'm doing this. And then the fifth and final component of the online academy is transcendence training. And this is a daily workout for your brain. You know how important it is to rewire the brain, to build new mental habits. It doesn't happen in a moment. And so your transcendence training is a beautiful practice. You're going to love it. It's a real retreat, a refuge for the mind. It's really can be extremely enjoyable, but you're going to do this just for a few minutes each day to get that daily workout. We know we've got to work out our bodies. Well, we've got to work out our minds. We know we've got to train our bodies. Well, yes, we've got to train our minds. And I'm going to give you that transcendence training. So this all comes in a e-learning program. Now, if you've ever signed up for an e-learning program that had long videos and endless PDFs and documents, well, you probably didn't even complete it. I'm doing my doctorate at Middlesex University in London at the moment, and part of my doctorate is to understand the best way to communicate information so that it is retained and acted upon. And what we know from the science is it needs to be micro-learning. So micro-learning means that no lesson is going to be more than 3 to 5 minutes. You're going to get short multiple choice afterwards just to reinforce key points. It's not a difficult test. It's just so that you remember those key points, and then you're going to get a little take action section. So this is really designed for maximum follow through. Now, the program itself sells for $247. I do have a special offer for you. I also know that there are a number of South Africans on this video, but this is a global program, and so that's why we price it in dollars. But the program comes with much more than that. I am also, for the first time, I'm doing a live one-day training. That is an entire day where we're going to go through all the Transcender material, the 5 master question coach, the transcendence training, the 3-step heal your distress in the moment, right? So each of the things that are on the program, I'm going to share with you on this online training, and you're also going to apply it, right? So you're not just going to watch me speak all day. You're actually going to apply each one of these processes. You're going to be able to ask me questions. We're going to be able to interact. I'm even going to coach you on this one day. So it's a really, really powerful day. First time I'm doing this. I'm really excited about this one-day training. It is really going to make an enormous difference because of the interaction that takes place on the program. Now, when I go into organizations and work with them for a day, it's $3,500. So that's what this is worth. And obviously that is not what I'm charging you, but I want you to know that this is the value that is here. And you might say, well, why aren't you just doing this in organizations? Because this is my mission. And I want to reach as many people as possible, and I want this to be as affordable as possible. But that is what a one day would be. Now, I also am going to be giving you some really great bonuses. Man, I'm so excited about these bonuses. So firstly, you've got the How to Get Over It. Now, How to Get Over It are a series of master classes on specific areas of emotional distress and anxiety. Because, as I always say, anxiety is like snow. There might be 50 different types, but what melts one usually melts them all. However, when you have a specific kind of anxiety, like general anxiety or panic attacks, you might want to know, how does the Transcender program apply to panic attacks? How does it apply to general anxiety or PTSD, that's post-traumatic stress disorder, or say intrusive thoughts, or OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder? Maybe you've got social anxiety, you're scared of groups or going out to people, right? You just close up and you're actually staying away from people. Maybe you've got insomnia, and a lot of people don't realize so much insomnia is anxiety related, right? So if you've got one of these issues, I've created a masterclass with you, and these masterclasses are very different. So what happens is, Candace Mama, she's a top 20 African United Nations woman, an absolutely incredible human being. Candace actually interviews me, and these are long. These are an hour, could be an hour and a half, where we talk through the Transcender program as it applies to each one of these particular areas. So if you are suffering with any of these, you're going to absolutely love these masterclasses. There is definitely one there for you. And let's just take a look at what Jody says about insomnia. She says, I've tried it all: sleeping pills, hygiene factors, bedtime rituals, CBT consultations, special mattress, CBD oil, all with little success. Yet within just 2.5 weeks with Transcender and Justin's coaching, I finally broke through my insomnia. This process works. This next one comes from somebody who is successful and privately distressed and wants to remain private, or at least privately healed now. He says, honestly, I don't want to overstate this, but your technique has been a lifesaver for me. For years, I've been assailed by intrusive thoughts and anxiety. I've tried therapy and meditation. Transcend is the only thing that's truly worked. Thank you. I finally feel free. So you get that bonus included. And so this is what you're getting. You've got the e-learning program, the one-day live seminar with me. Your first bonus is that how to get over it. So that's all of those master classes. You get that included. But the next bonus, man, this is where it is all going to come together. And I can only take a few people on this, because this is group coaching. So there's a small group coaching, and we are going to get together once a week for 4 weeks. So the way this program works is, when you sign up, you immediately get access to the e-learning program. And then you're going to get onto the one-day training. And you'll see below this video the dates of the one-day training. And the one-day training is usually on a Saturday, and it's the whole day. Now, if you can't make that day, we do record the session, so you get access to the full session. But in that one day, you are not only going to go through the whole Transcender program, you're also going to make some commitments for your transformation. Let me give you an example of one of them. One of the things that a lot of people choose to do is take up an exercise program if they haven't already, right? And the reason that is because the research is very clear. Exercise is a critical part of emotional well-being. In fact, really interesting controlled study on depressed and anxious people has shown that getting into a regular exercise program is more effective than antidepressant drugs. And that tells you a lot. And that's partly because exercise boosts serotonin, which is one of the key chemicals involved in happiness, and it reduces adrenaline. And adrenaline, of course, is hugely involved in anxiety. Most people know they need to exercise for their bodies. They just don't realize how important it is for their mind. So many people will actually make that commitment that they're going to take up exercise. Now, everybody is going to commit to a number of behaviors, right? So it could be exercise, it could be taking on the 5 Master Question Coach as a daily behavior, the Transcendence training, and you're going to learn a number of things, right, that you may want to then ingrain as new habits so that you can really transform your life and emotional state. So in day 1, you're going to get this habit master. So I actually wrote a book on habits. This is how important habits are. You're going to get this habit master process so that you will make these commitments. You will write them down. You will share them with everyone. And then for the next 30 days, this whole program is geared as a 30-day program, right? We are going to hold one another accountable. So with the group coaching, we come back together once a week, every week. And not only do I continue to coach you, we do the 5 Master Question Coach, I deal with your specific challenge, your issue, you watch me work with other people. Not only do you do all of that, you are held accountable. Now, we know that social accountability doubles the chances of achieving a goal. Doubles the chances. So some people in this group coaching, even they know that they've been holding themselves back from starting that new business or finding the love of their life, or going on job interviews, whatever it is. And that's actually one of the commitments that they make, that for the next 30 days, this is what they are going to do. So whatever it is, you are now going to be held accountable so that the behaviors that you need to follow through, you are actually following through with those behaviors. So this is really important part of the program. I want you to get to the end and go, wow, look how I have transformed. And this is really important to me. I don't just want you to come here and, get a few insights and have a yak. That's not what this is about. This is about real transformation. Real transformation. So let's just take a look at that. That's the e-learning program, the one-day live seminar, the How to Get Over It masterclasses, and the group coaching. Now, I've got to tell you, when I do group coaching in organizations, it's $300 per person. Okay. Now, so that doesn't even reflect what I would charge ordinarily. Now, again, I'm not going to be charging you this, but I want you to know the real value here, because that's really important for you to understand what it is that you're getting. And this comes from Diana. I'm just so proud, quite frankly. I know some people say, I'm so humbled, and I do feel humility in many times in my life, but this is one time in my life where I feel real great pride, because Diana said something that just confirms for me the power of this group coaching. She says, I've been to 3 psychologists. With 2 of them, I had over 10 sessions. None of them helped me as much as you did. I don't understand how you did it. No one-on-one sessions, just group meetings over Zoom. Amazing. You've changed my life. Now, folks, what's so interesting about Diana is I don't know what her specific issue is, because I didn't coach her in the group session. So she just arrived at these group sessions, learned from what I was doing with others, applied it to herself using the process, and achieve this transformation. That's why I say I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm a psychoeducationalist. I'm not going to heal you. I'm going to provide you with the tools to heal yourself. And yes, that's why I am really, really moved by Diana's testimonial, because this has always been the mission, to provide you with the tools to heal yourself. And so when you come into these group coaching sessions, if you want to be anonymous, some people do. Diana wasn't anonymous, but she just didn't actually participate. But if you want to come in anonymously, well, you can also affect this kind of transformation by just applying what I share with you. That is the group coaching. So it's the e-learning program, the one-day live seminar. That first bonus, How to Get Over It. That second bonus is the group coaching. That conservatively is nearly $1,000 of value. I absolutely believe that it is worth more than that. I truly do. And I'll tell you why. It's not because I think, that I'm so great. I know that this information, I know how it can transform a life. I know how it transformed my life. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm a reporter. I'm here to share with you, what has worked for me and worked for so many others. And as you decide about whether you are ready to make this investment, I just want you to consider the difference between price and value. Because I got to be honest, when I was younger, I was always about the price of something. And if the numbers seemed bigger than I wanted, then it was expensive. And I'll never forget somebody I really, really admired, a very successful, wealthy person. And he said to me, Justin, if it costs $1 and there's no value in it, it was expensive. If it costs $100,000 and it changes your life forever, it was cheap. And so we got to look at the value of things. And I could ask you, what would it mean to affect the transformation that you want to in your emotional state? What would it mean just to be 10 or 15% happier? What would that be worth to you? How would that change your life, your relationships, your work, your well-being? I can tell you, at the midst of my anxiety and emotional distress, I distinctly remember thinking that if I could win the lottery, win $500 million in the lottery, if you made it $1 billion, it doesn't matter how much. Okay, that was option 1. Or 2, get over the anxiety that I was experiencing. No contest. It would have been get over this anxiety, because all the money in the world, all the success, all the material things in the world could not compensate for the mental torture that I was experiencing. And this is what I want to share with you, right? And so ask yourself, what would it be worth to effect the transformation that you want to? So that's what I'm promising you. I'm promising you that transformation. Now you might say, Justin, that's a big promise. And you're right, it is a big promise. It is a big promise, and I don't want there to be any risk for you. And that's why there's a money-back guarantee. If you don't get the transformation you're after, you do not feel that there's value in this at any point, let me know, and I will give you your money back. I will give it back to you because I only want an exchange of value where people have really got value. And this is my way of taking out all of that risk. So here's the offer that I have for you. You get all of that, nearly $1,000 of value. The special offer is for $247. I really want to reward you for taking action now. And so there is an early bird special, and that is $197. That's right. For the e-learning program, the full one-day live seminar, how to get over it masterclasses, and that group coaching, your entire 30-day challenge for transformation, for rewiring your brain and affecting that transformation for $197. That is pretty much the price of 3 therapy or coaching sessions. That's it. I wanted this to be as affordable as possible. That's it. Except there's a difference, because you can go through therapy and you can go to coaching. You're not getting a money-back guarantee, right? As Diane experienced, she went to multiple psychologists, multiple sessions. Well, when she didn't get the transformation, they didn't give her money back. So you have absolutely no risk here. And the other thing is, what people generally tell me is that once they've experienced this, they don't need more of the therapy. They don't need more of the coaching. So of course, everybody is different. This is about you and your particular issue. I would love the opportunity to work with you directly. And I'm really imploring you, take the sleep. Take the sleep. It's not even a leap of faith, because you have the safeguards in place. And let's not just enable a breakthrough for you, but you see, for me, Transcender is a movement. I've seen so many therapies and drugs set people back. They set me back. And so this is my life mission. I hope that you will become a Transcender coach one day, that you will get out there and coach people and share this material with the world. And so together we can make a real difference in the lives of people. And I hope that you will get on board, affect that transformation for yourself, and ultimately go on to help so many others. If you are a coach or are a consultant, immediately you can begin to apply this. And of course, if you are a parent or you are a human being who wants to help others, you're going to have a tremendous opportunity with these processes. So to sign up, go to www.transcender.life/go, or you can click on the button below this video. So below the video, you're going to see the dates of the program. Remember that everything is recorded, so if you can't make one of these dates, you will get a full recording. You will have lifetime access to the e-learning program, to the one-day seminar, and to all the coaching. So I really hope that we get the chance to work together to transform your life and emotional state. Until then, live better.